Hey everyone, hope all is well. The 2016 US presidential race is now between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Are you excited? Well, for many people, the answer is no, we're not excited. Because on the one hand, the prospect of a Trump presidency is somewhat terrifying, but also both candidates are despised by a significant portion of the electorate. The moment Hillary Clinton became Democratic nominee for president was the moment that Donald Trump was given a real chance of winning the general election. At a time of technological empowerment of the individual, huge societal shifts are taking place in which the failures of traditional political systems are becoming exposed to the masses like never before. Whether that be money in politics, dishonesty, the lack of accountability, a rigged political system, the public are therefore crying out for change. And in this election, out of the two main parties, there is only one change candidate. And it's not Hillary Clinton. And yes, you can argue the type of change that Trump is offering is not the right kind, but for the millions of Americans who have been experiencing the most damning economical and social struggles, they may feel that any change is better than what they have right now. Donald Trump getting the nomination is in some ways a gift to the establishment because it has caused decent people to start defending the indefensible actions of a corrupt political system in which both the Democratic National Committee and the Hillary Clinton campaign are complicit. The DNC, by its own rules, was supposed to remain neutral during the primaries, as expressed by Chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Well, first let me just reiterate that the Democratic National Committee remains neutral in this primary based on our rules.
And yet, recent email leaks have shown that the DNC tried to sabotage Bernie Sanders' campaign throughout. And yes, Debbie Wasserman Schultz has recently been forced to resign, but now the work has been done on getting Hillary Clinton elected. What is she going on to next? Of course, working for the Clinton campaign. But no, we have to stop bringing this up now because it will only help Trump. We need unity. So those millions of Bernie Sanders supporters who donated their time, their money, and their votes to try and get him elected, they need to stop complaining and fall in line. The past year I've seen elements of smugness, arrogance and naivety among some Clinton supporters. And it has honestly scared me, because these symptoms come from holding a metaphorical loaded gun to the heads of voters with the message of, you can't let this monster become president, so you must vote for me regardless. This kind of blackmail is a product of the two-party system. And having Donald Trump there has allowed Democrats to be more militaristic and pro-big money than they should be. I'd also like to add that the out-of-touch nature of politicians and media pundits has significant consequences too.
All I want to say is that anybody from the Democratic side of the fence who thinks that, who's terrified of the possibility of President Trump, better vote, better get active, better get involved, because this man has got some momentum, and we better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket.
Next, I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Sorry to laugh.
As someone living through the political climate of Brexit here in England, I have seen this sort of thing play out, in which people have suggested, even if not explicitly, that those who voted Leave are either ignorant, racist, or just obsessed with immigration. It's just highly irresponsible. When you categorise and label voters in patronising ways, you only chip away at the small amount of trust the public has left in today's political and media institutions. And Trump is a result of these systemic failures. The business as usual approach is not sustainable. And so politicians who believe that this anti-establishment sentiment is just a wave that will pass actually fail to see the much bigger waves coming over the horizon. So what is the antidote to a perceived anti-establishment candidate like Donald Trump? I'll tell you what is not. One of the most establishment candidates in American history. And this is why I fear Trump is more likely to win than not, unless the Democratic Party get their act together, wake up, acknowledge what they've got wrong, and show true determination to fix those things. When you have Clinton supporters looking confused as to why Sanders supporters were booing at the Democratic National Convention, that illustrates once again the naivety I'm talking about. And I totally understand why the Bernie or Bust movement exists, although I personally wouldn't subscribe to that notion come election day if I could vote. But I'll tell you one thing. If you want to get those people on side, I probably wouldn't confront them with things like this.
Can I just say to the Bernie or Bust people, you're being ridiculous.
I mean, what was Sarah Silverman expecting? They were all going to turn around and go, oh, okay, yeah, we'll stop being ridiculous. There has been much speculation as to why Bernie Sanders has endorsed Hillary Clinton after everything he has campaigned on the past year. But I think the answer is quite simple. He honestly believes that Hillary Clinton is a better candidate than Donald Trump. Not only that, he also believes the movement will make more progress under a Clinton presidency than a Trump one. You may not like this reality, but unfortunately these are the cards we have been dealt, and we all as individuals have to make a decision. And there is a long-term strategy. Please check out brandnewcongress.org if you haven't already. It's amazing. During an election where the main choice is between a war hawk and a wannabe war hawk, where there are interesting alternatives like Jill Stein for the Green Party or Gary Johnson for the Libertarian Party, you do need to think about playing the long game, like Bernie Sanders has been for so many decades. Thousands booed Clinton's name during the convention because they wanted to send a message to the Democratic Party to say, this is not over. If you want the support of millions of progressives, you're going to have to earn their vote. They're not just going to fall in line. And more importantly, they wanted to send a message to say, we will not forget the promises you have made during the primaries, and we will definitely not forget the actions you took to hinder the Bernie Sanders campaign.
And everybody's looking for someone to blame, aren't they? Is it immigrants? Is it people on benefits? It was the fucking banks! They showed you them doing it on the fucking news! Am I the only person that remembers that? Am I going fucking crazy? Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of watching Columbo at my granny when I was wee. Columbo, they'd show you the murder in the pre-credit sequence. It wasn't a whodunit. It was about Columbo proving that the guy did it. And then halfway through, my granny'd always go, I think it was her. No, Granny, it was fucking him! They showed you him doing it with a fucking paperweight. It's exactly the same thing with austerity. I think it's those Polish cunts round the corner. It was the fucking banks!
Thankfully, we now have a generation of voters who use technology to broaden their worldview, and a percentage of whom use it to hold the powerful to account. These are the kinds of people that don't buy into the simplicity of tribal politics. They care about ideas, integrity, and accountability. So saying things like, I have better policies and a better track record than Donald Trump is just not good enough. We are currently in dangerous territory. We have one candidate who preaches fear about what America is, and we have a candidate who vocalises fear about what America could become. And a climate of fear generates apathy, and it causes people to betray their own interests, from both sides. I personally can't stand Donald Trump, but I can't stand Hillary Clinton either. But they are not the same. You don't win over the hearts and minds of most people with fear or by telling people what to do. You need to inspire and be convincing, which is exactly what the Hillary Clinton campaign need to do, by showing a commitment towards progressive policies and values, not just through words, but through actions as well. Because the Democratic Party platform is non-binding, and Tim Kaine, Clinton's VP choice, is questionable. So in conclusion, I have two main concerns about this election cycle. One, that there is a real risk of divisions taking place among people who should be fighting alongside each other for particular causes. They should be looking for common ground and common purpose and working together. But my second concern is that people are therefore afraid to be intellectually honest about calling out corruption or failings with political candidates or institutions when they see them. And being intellectually honest and finding unity shouldn't be mutually exclusive. There is a balance that can be made. So thank you so much for watching this video. I honestly can't wait to hear your thoughts, whether you're an American or not, an outsider like me looking in, whether you're a Trump supporter, a Clinton supporter, Sanders, Stein, Johnson, someone else, or perhaps no one. Let me know in the comments of the video. And if you'd be so kind, please give the video a like. I make weekly videos on a wide range of topics on this channel, so be sure to stick around if you're new. And hello. And if you really want to support me on a whole nother level, please visit patreon.com/Miles Dyer. You can support me for as little as $1 a month. I do weekly live shows, and there's lots of other great rewards worth checking out. So thank you for the support as always, and adios till next time.